Do not let fear, doubt, worry hold you back from your goals. And I would say, with me working in real estate and me still learning each and every day, still figuring out things on the whim, it got to a point where if I wasn't willing to put myself in uncomfortable situations, not only learn, be seen, get in certain environments, I would not be where I am today. Reason why I say that is because it gets to a point in time where you either let fear hold you back or you let fear drive you to become who you want to be and where you want to go. And I often would ask myself, would the highest and best version of me capitalize on this opportunity? How would he go about them circumstances? And each and every time I would just hear this little voice like, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Because I know at the end of the day, the highest and best version of me would already know how to figure it out. So that's why I never really worry. And a lot of people let fear hold them back from what it is that they genuinely want out of life. And you have to realize that, would you rather be someone that lived in fear their whole life and never really got to live a life that was genuinely fulfilling? Or be someone that put it all on the line, risk it all, and they can go to sleep knowing that they tried or at least tried to do something that was going to have a positive outcome in their life? And what you have to realize is that you have to ask yourself these questions. And once you start asking yourself these questions to figure out what it is you generally want, you start to really unravel what it is that you generally want. And I know when I was asking myself these questions, it was like, would I rather fuck up on this opportunity that I know that will make me better, or just not take the opportunity at all? And I realized that if I were to just say, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, then the opportunity may not have necessarily ever came again. And that's why I just ended up taking it each and every single time. And over the course of time, those opportunities have built me up to be able to not only be more informed about the industry, but not only that, also putting myself near like minded people. And what you must realize is that the things that you're doing now has got you up to this point, but it's going to take different set of thoughts, habits, beliefs, and actions in order for you to get to where you want to go. And if you're not willing to make those uncomfortable situations more normal and more accustomed to you, then you won't really get really far. And I would often ask myself, like, why, if I genuinely, even if I was fearful, I didn't care. That's the most important thing. I just didn't let that emotion dictate my outcome or dictate the way I acted in that moment. Sure, I may have been scared to talk to that person. Sure, I may have been scared to capitalize on an opportunity that I may not have necessarily been well acquainted to. But at the end of the day, I still did it. And that's all that matters. And once you realize that you continuously do things even when you're not all the way prepared, not only eliminates fear, but it also forces you to figure something out. People tend to try to get all the information they possibly can in order to go out there and do what it is exactly they want to do. But actually it works in the inverse way. You just do it and then figure it out along the way. Now sure, some people may be scared of doing those things. Sure, it's there's a level of uncertainty that goes towards some of those certain circumstances, but you have to generally ask yourself, is this generally what you want? And if you kind of want it, then just don't do it. But if you're all in, you're all for it, then do it 100%. And when you understand that you know this is what you want to do and you will dedicate your entire life force to it, you realize that there is no fear, there is no doubt. There's just, I'll figure it out and I don't care what the outcome is. I don't care if they say no, I don't care if they say yes. I'm going to figure it out no matter what. No matter what kind of cards I'm dealt, I'm going to figure it out. And when you have that abundance mindset of that more nonchalant, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna figure it out, you tend to realize that you'll be a lot more confident in certain circumstances that you may not have necessarily been prepared for, or you just have alleviated so much fear and doubt that it's not even a thought anymore. You're just speed, you're just fast, you just get up and do it. There's really no thought process involved. If you see something that you always wanted to do, you just get up and do it with no hesitation at all and no remorse. And in today's society, a lot of people generally don't know who they are because of them listening to so many other people. They don't even have a strong sense of identity. And what you will realize is that they'll start living a life with other people, doing things that they don't want to do, when the whole entire time all you had to do was just get up and do exactly what it is that you wanted to do. Who cares if they say it's a bad idea? Who cares if they say you can't do it? Who cares if you don't have people supporting you? Who the fuck cares? Because at the end of the day, you have to look at that man or woman in the mirror and figure out what it is that you generally want and go out there and get it, no matter what. You have to build this life for yourself, and you're more than capable of doing it. You just have to adjust some of the things that you're doing now in order to achieve that goal or get to those processes to the point where it's like you can do pretty much whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And having that level and having that sense of freedom of knowing you can walk away from money, knowing that it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you have to go talk to that person or if that person has to talk to you or whatever the case may be. You tend to realize that you kind of feel more at peace. And when you know that you can get up and do what you want to do, there's a lot of pride and freedom and a lot of fulfillment in being able to do that. A lot of people are working jobs they hate. People are living in environments that they hate. They hate their city, they hate their state, they hate their home, they hate the environment that they're in. They may not have people that are uplifting them because they go to an office 8, 9, 10, 15 hours a day. So they're around the same people every day. Shit, a lot of people spend more time at the office with their work friends than they do with their family, which is crazy. But I say that to say is that thinking about these things, the sooner the better. And once you realize that life is precious in the sense that you only get one shot at this, you'll tend to look at the things and the decisions that you make a little bit different. And when you realize that you really don't have shit to lose, okay, sure, you lose some money, but you learn from it and you just keep going. The only time you lose is really when you stop and you quote unquote think you failed. But if you don't do that and you just keep going, you're going to win anyway. Winning is going to be inevitable anyway. You just have to endure the day-to-day process until you get your victory, basically. And once you get your victory, build on that momentum, and you'll have your way. I'll say that. And once you realize that you'll have your way with everything that it is in life, you tend to look at life as a video game, and it's just how do I figure out how to make me better? How do I figure out how to make the people around me better? How do I make more money? How do I have that nicer car, have that better apartment? How do I have X, Y, and Z? How can I fly private? How can I fly first class? How can I go to overseas countries and see different parts of the world? Those are some of the things that are start coming by. Now, it may not necessarily have to be something monetary or material or whatever the case may be, but as long as you are living a life that you always jump to living, that's all that matters. That's it for today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.